Should you record the audio for your videos in an external recorder? In this video, I'm going to be comparing recording directly into an external audio recorder, such as, in this case, the Zoom H8, versus recording directly into your camera, my camera, in this case, the Sony A6600, just to see what the benefits are, or if there actually are any benefits. Although other microphones can definitely plug into this device, I am going to be sticking with the Rode VideoMic NTG because this is my primary mic. This is what I use for recording all of my videos. So, kind of makes sense to stick with. And certainly I think it's my best sounding mic. So will the audio be better? Is it going to be about the same, or will it be worse? Will it be easier to manage in DaVinci Resolve? Is this a complete waste of money for the solo content creator? Well, before getting into this, let me know down in the comments below what you think. And we'll see if you're right. As usual, everything that I discuss in this video will be linked down below. My name is Beliveau. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, and now let's get into this. Recently, I picked up the Zoom H8. In fact, watch me do it again. I've been exploring audio on my channel lately. Obviously, I've made some investments in my studio and YouTube room. I have these wave panels and back surrounding me. I have a moving blanket over here to help suppress the sound, a shotgun mic up here. I started to wonder more about being able to make it sound cleaner, and I do think, at least in my mind, that this is going to help that happen. Now, I have to be honest, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to sound better. I'm a little worried that it might actually just sound the same. What I am excited about, though, is that it has multiple inputs. So when I do finally decide to get my other channel off the ground, and maybe I also make a friend, and maybe that friend wants to record videos with me, well then I'll have multiple inputs that I can use to record on multiple different tracks, so I don't have to do what I had to do in the previous days with the Foodie 2, where I had to use a microphone and then split the audio between Tara and me when we were talking, because it was kind of a pain in the ass. Sometimes it's what you gotta do. I want to improve the quality of the audio on this channel and in my videos in general, so that is why I decided to invest in this. Yes, it's another device that I have to switch on and make sure that I have batteries for, make sure that it's plugged in, and make sure that the SD card is in there properly formatted, not full. I have to do that for my camera anyways, and then of course with my microphone, that one has an internal battery that I also have to make sure is charged and full. So many things. For this test, we'll be using my favorite pangram. 5 quacking zephyrs, jolt my wax bed. 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 So far, you've been hearing me record directly into my camera, through my microphone, naturally, and I can see my meters jumping for joy. Next, I'm going to be recording directly into this, and we're going to test it out and see how it sounds. Yeah. Alright, so now I'm recording directly into my Zoom H8. The audio is separate from the camera, although for the camera, I have the internal microphone on it turned up, so that way I can make it easier to sync. 5 quacking zephyrs, jolt my wax bed. 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 Hey, Future Ray. It's kind of telling, isn't it? I mean, because a couple of minutes ago I said, and then of course with my microphone, that one has an internal battery that I also have to make sure is charged and full. Actually, my microphone ended up dying in the middle of recording my comparison, and I just actually think that's kind of funny. I think the benefit there, though, is that I'm going to be able to kind of condense all of the information that I was inevitably going to tell you anyway. So the plus is that this is actually going to be shorter. One of the things that I didn't cover is the settings that I was using in my camera with the microphone and of course with the Zoom H8. Recording into my camera when the microphone is plugged in, I have the volume set at 1. The volume on the microphone itself is set at 11. Now, once I unplugged it from the camera, I turned the volume on the internal microphone all the way up to 26. It still sounded terrible, but at least I was able to use that to sync up with the audio in here. It made it a lot easier. So the settings that I have for the H8, I used the field recording, and then I also used 48 kilohertz, I used a WAV file, and I used 24 bits. Also, I wanted to keep it somewhat similar to what the camera produces, which is 16 bits at 48 kilohertz. So is the audio better, is it the same, or is it worse? One of the biggest things that jumped out to me between these two recordings was obviously the volume difference, right? The Zoom is just so much louder, and part of that is because I have the line in turned up to 6 in addition to having it set at 11 on here. I don't know how much of a difference that makes. So in order to combat the higher volume in this and also the volume coming from this to make sure that they were at an even playing field, I did add a limiter set at 16 decibels. One thing that was completely noticeable was you could hear the air conditioner, which the air conditioner is going on right now. For this, I use the RX8 plugin for noise reduction versus DaVinci Resolve. I think it's good, but I think RX8 is a little bit better. I think as far as working with it in DaVinci Resolve, it's pretty similar overall. The H8 has a slight edge over the quality of the sound coming out of it. I think that the bass in it is a bit stronger. It has more prominence versus the brighter sound that's being produced by the Sony A6600. So I think it's just, this has a lot more breadth, is that a word? It has more width, width or depth. It has more to it. And I think part of that is because it is 24 bits versus the 16 bits that's going into the camera itself. At least listening to it, it seems like there is a little bit more that I can do with it. It also seems like there's a little bit more that I have to do with it in order to make sure that, you know, that certain sounds are suppressed. The final question was this a waste of money or is this a good investment for a solo creator? And I think the answer to that actually stands. I think it depends. I think it depends on what your usage is. I'll tell you, if I'm running around vlogging and I'm holding the camera, I don't want to be lugging this around too. This weighs just about as much as the camera. If I'm recording multiple streams at once, then definitely the H8 is the way to go. I don't think it's a waste of money though, and I think it's important to invest in your sound. So when I'm recording in the studio, I think I am going to be experimenting with this a lot more, and I am going to be using this for more of my recordings versus recording just into my camera. If you're running around, seriously, just plug your microphone into your camera. If you're in the studio and you have one of these, then I would suggest just recording into this and then sync it later. If you're curious on how to sync your audio in DaVinci Resolve with your video, if you recorded it separately, then my next video is actually going to cover that exact topic. So what do you think overall? Is the sound better? Is it pretty much the same, or is it worse? Let me know down in the comments below real quick. With that said though, hit that like button, smash it if you want to, just show me some love, of course, and then don't forget to hit subscribe. I will be releasing a video every single week now. Thank you for your patience while I kind of got my shit together over the last few months and maybe even the last year. We all need to take a break once in a while. Until next time, I'll catch you later.